Welcome back, guys, and welcome back to part two. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some more features which we can add to make it a lot more easier and to make it much more like a real bot, because it's very, very basic right now. And there is actually one more feature which I wanted to add in quickly here, which I didn't add in last time, and that's the unfollow feature. So that will be unfollow user. And then it will be the same parameters as the follow, so self and user. And we will go self.nav user, and then we will say, so we were following the rock. We followed him in the last video, so let's go back to the rocks account. Okay, so to unfollow the rock, we need to click this button, okay, and then we need to click another button. So let's figure that out. Let's inspect the element. Okay, button class. Okay, that's easy. We have the following text inside. That makes it really easy for us. So we'll just do it by XPath, and I'm actually just gonna. We'll do that. Yeah. We'll say. What was it? Yeah, following. So we'll say following the button equals self.driver.find elements by XPath, and we're gonna say there was a button, so button contains text. The text was following. Then we're going to want to click that. So dot click. And that will click the button for us. And then after that, we're going to want to probably sleep for 2 seconds. Let's say 2 seconds. And after we've done that, we're going to want to find this one. This unfollow button, and this button is called unfollow, so it's pretty much the same thing as before, except we're just going to change the text from following to unfollow, so we can almost just copy this, add it down here, move that, we'll change this to unfollow, and we'll change this button to unfollow. So yeah, let's say we want to unfollow the rock. We just don't like his photos anymore, so yeah, it's time to unfollow him. Unfollow the rock. Sorry, dude. Okay, we probably needed to sleep before. Yeah. 2, and again. Okay, that didn't work. Yeah, that's why. Because we are selecting multiple elements, so we have to specify which one. So it's going to be 0 and also 0 here. Now that should work. There we go. So we've successfully unfollowed someone. That's great. That's really, really good. Yeah, so these are our basic functions then. Log in, follow user, unfollow user, like post, and like tag post. Okay, that's working really well. But the thing is, we don't want to have to type, unfollow, bot.unfollow user for every single person, that would just take too long. You may as well just use the app to do that. We want to be able to input a list in here and let the program take care of the rest. So the question is now, where do we get that list? And I think a really neat way to get that list is to check the followers of a user, and then get all of the followers here and use that as a list. I think that's a really nice thing to do. So that's going to be a bit tricky. Yeah, I think they've changed it here. They've changed the layout of it, but we'll get to it anyway. We'll just keep going. Let's say define user followers. That's going to be self user specific user, and let's say we want a limit of 10 followers, for example. So first things first, we're going to navigate to the user, navigate user. Second thing, we need to find this button. So that's going to be followers btn button equals self.driver.find. Actually, we don't know how we're going to find it yet, so let's check. Okay, I think we're going to use this href. Yeah, it's pretty much just the username and then followers. So we can use an f string. So we'll say self.driver.find element by xpath, and we'll say it was an a tag, so a contains. Or what did it say? Yep, it was an href. I think it was the rock. Was it the rock? Yeah, I think it was the rock followers, then another slash. I think that should work. And then we're going to want to do followers btn.click. And we don't need to log in for now. Or do we? Actually, let's just stay logged in. Okay, I've done something wrong here. Interesting. Let's try this instead. Okay, list index out of range. Okay. We're using the unfollow user. We need to use user followers. Okay, perfect. So now we get all the followers here. Oh, this is interesting. This is very different though. So this is the suggested people. That's interesting. Okay. We might have to click this button here and then scroll down. Okay, no, we're just gonna have to use this. We're just gonna have to. There's a lot of users here anyway. That's fine. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna need to scroll. So for that, we're gonna need to use some JavaScript actually. So let's get some JavaScript. We need to find the div, which is okay, ISGRP. So that's the div we're gonna need to scroll. And let's call it fbody equals self.drive.find element by xpath again. I think so. And it was a div that contains a class which was, I think it was ISGRP, yeah. We'll add double quotes here. And after that, we're going to want to scroll. So scroll, set scroll equal to 0, and we'll say while scroll is less than 5. So we're going to want to scroll. So we'll execute a script. Execute script, which is going to be some JavaScript. It's going to be arguments. Arguments 0 dot, I think scroll top is equal to. Don't worry about the JavaScript. It's a bit complicated if you don't know any JavaScript. Don't worry about that. Just copy this in. Let's say arguments square bracket 0 dot offset height fbody. And that should be it. And after we've executed the script, we're going to want to add one to scroll. So scroll plus equals 1. And we're going to sleep for a second. So let's actually try it out. Hope this works now. Okay, it didn't work. It's not a valid XPath expression. Okay. Div a class equals ISGRP. Okay, I think we might need to sleep for 2 seconds like we normally do. One, two. Again, just not working. Why is that? It's not a valid XPath expression. Are you sure? Oh, of course, Jesus. It's always the easy things that you mess up on. Should work now. And scroll down 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's absolutely perfect. That's great. Now it's working perfectly. Actually, we actually have an unlimited amount of users here. I don't know why it was just showing us recommended once before, but this is perfect. So you could potentially scroll down 1,000 times if you wanted to and get all of these users. But we're just going to keep it simple now. We're going to use 4 or 5 here. I'm going to scroll 4 or 5 times. Or just 5 times, if we're going to be specific. And After we've scrolled, we're going to want to get the usernames of everybody here. So we're going to want to get their username. So we're going to inspect the element. See if there's any easy way we can do this. So that's the username there that we want, Suk Sandu. And I wonder if it's in here somewhere. Doesn't seem to be. FPMH. We have his name here. We have the title. Okay, let's just check this one. That's a bit. There we go. So inside here, inside this A tag, you can see there's a bit of text, which is actually the username, and that's what we're going to try and isolate. So I think we'll use the class name, which is this. I think this is the right one. Let's just check. 252 matches. Yeah, seems to be the username. Perfect. So we'll say we need to have a list now. This function is gonna return us a list of followers, or a list of users, sorry. And it's gonna be an empty list here. And let's create a for loop. So for I in range limit, which is 10, we're going to want to say follower equals self.driver.find element by x. Oh no, not x path, by class name. And the class name was fpmx. Yep, that's the class name, fpmhx. And we're going to want the I. So we're going to want 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of that. And then we're gonna want to append the username to this list. So there's a really easy way we can do this actually, which is pretty neat. So followers list dot append follower dot text. And now this dot text is really nice. It basically just takes the text out of the element. So we don't really have to do much. It just does it for us. And we can say print followers list. And this should print the first 10 followers that are following the rock. So let's see if it works. I'm feeling pretty hopeful. I think it should work. So it's scrolled 5 times. Perfect. And let's see if it's printed a list of followers. Okay. Web element object is not subscriptable. Okay, that's yeah, of course. Find elements by class name. Rookie mistake. Let's load the Chrome windows and rerun it. So after this, we're going to build some functionality which is going to allow us to follow a list of users and like their photos too. And I think that will be it for this video. I think that will be it. We might actually also build some functionality which will allow us to. Hold on, what's happened here? Okay, we're going to need to sleep here too. 2 seconds and refresh, rerun. And we'll also build some functionality which will allow us to follow and like the post of a user at the same time. So that's 3 more functions to build. And then once we've done that, I mean, you pretty much have a fully fledged bot which you can use. You know. And if you need to use it for automation for your Instagram accounts, it's a free bot, and you don't have to pay $30 a month to use the online versions, which is pretty nice. I mean, there's a lot of features that we don't have here, but you know, those can be built. pretty easily. And there we go, it's printed a list of the first 10 followers, which is just what we wanted. But now we want to be able to use this list. You know, we want to be able to return this list and input this list into one of these functions, user follow, and then follow all these users. We're going to build a new function called, let's say it's called follow users, and it takes the argument users, so it takes a list as an argument, and we'll say for each user in the list of users, follow that user. Okay, so let's see if that works. I actually wanted to add something in here. I wanted to add a timing. Yeah, we'll leave that for now. We'll do that later. So user follows the rock. So this is going to return us a list. Just have to press return follows list, and say bot.follow users. So that should work. So let's try it. They should follow all of the last 10 users here, one at a time. But the thing is, it's probably going to do it way too quickly. We need, if you're doing this yourself, definitely add lots of time in between each follow and each action, because it's really easy for Instagram to see if you're following 100 users in a minute and then to block your account. So, be generous with the time you allow between each follow. I'm just keeping it really short for the video. So that's 1, next 1, 2, next 1, 3, next 1. Okay, yeah, working. 4. So that's working really well. I'm just going to stop this because I don't need to follow any more people. But that's working perfectly. So, yeah. And we can also change, if you wanted to follow 100 people, you could change this to 100, for example. Actually, we might need to add that in. Yeah, I think we'll have to add that in. If you wanted to follow 100 people, you would just add 100 here to this parameter, which is the limit. If you want to follow 50, you do 50. If you want to do 1,000, you'd have to do 1,000. But then you'd probably have to change this as well, this scroll. You'd have to change it to a much higher number. You have to scroll through 1,000 users. And the next thing we'll build, I think, is like posts. So we'll like the users' posts. And define like user, or define like users posts. Users post. Yeah, let's just add Nesta just to make it sound more correct. So self the users, just like before. And for each user in the list of users, self.like user post of the user. Now we're gonna actually have to change a bit of code here, up here. Like user post, because some accounts actually are private, so that means you won't be able to like the posts of the user. And if you run this code and it's not able to like the post, it's just going to break. So we're going to need to add a try and accept block, which is going to work like this. If it's not able to like the posts of a user, it's just going to pass over them and continue running the code. So the code won't break essentially, which is really nice. And let's try it. Like users posts. It's going to like the last 10 user posts. As you can see, I'm already getting quite a few followers there, actually. Only been on for a minute. So yeah, you saw it just passed over there. And now it's liking the photos here. Okay. So yeah, that's working really, really good. Let's just check one more. Perfect. That's working great. It's working perfectly. We don't need to do much more to that. That's going to work great for us. Next thing we can add is, let's add unfollow functionality. Let's say we want to unfollow lots of users at once. Unfollow users, self users. So for each user in list of users, self dot unfollow the user. So for that we'd have to go to my account, which is brilliant.beards. So we're going to get the last 10 users who are following my account and unfollow them. So let's try that. Just to see if it works. Users. Let's go. Okay, that didn't work because... Oh yeah, of course, we need to change that. We've actually hard-coded this in here, the rock, which is not good at all. We're going to just change it to an F string. So we actually want... We're going to want this parameter, or this value to be put in here, which should work nicely. And yeah, let's try again. So yeah, let's go into the first person. And we already followed them. So the code is broken. We actually need to add the logic into here as well. The try and accept. So try to unfollow the user, and if you can't, or if I'm not following them, just pass over. So that. Okay, let's try again. One, two, three, four, five. Nice. And yep. So we're not following this person, so it's perfect. Skip. 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 Okay, we're not following all these people, so let's wait until we get someone we are following. Okay, there we go. And unfollow. Perfect. So it's working great. It's working really good. So we've pretty much built everything we need to build. Now you pretty much have yourself a working bot, which you can use as you please. I mean, there's a lot more functionalities which I want to add and which I will add in the future. But for now, this is a pretty basic version, which should work for most of your needs. And if there's anything else that you think I should do or add, just let me know in the comments, and I'll make a video tutorial on it. And I'd be more than happy to. So thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, let me know how you get on. Peace.